My name is Stephanie and I'm an interpreter here at Kensington Metropark Nature Center. Welcome to Science with the Metroparks, where we do short and easy science experiments that you can do at home with things you can find around the house or in your pantry. Today, we'll be making slime, 2 different ways. Now, before we get making those slimes, I want to make sure that you have parent supervision to do these experiments. Awesome. Ready? Okay, let's get started. For our first experiment, we're going to be making slime with borax. The materials you need for this experiment are borax, warm water, glue, white or clear is fine, some sticks for stirring, a teaspoon, food coloring, measuring cup, 2 containers to mix in, some gloves, these are optional, 2 plastic baggies, a table, and a tablecloth. We always want to make sure when doing science experiments that we go to a place that's okay to be messy in. So that's why I always use a tablecloth so it's easier to clean up my mess. All right, now that we have all our materials together, let's go ahead and make some slime with some borax. First step is to mix 1 cup of warm water, measure that out, with a teaspoon of borax. Now we want to mix these together, and when we're mixing them, you want to let the borax dissolve into that warm water. It is okay if you have a little borax that kind of settles at the bottom, but you do want to try to dissolve the majority of the borax. So mix for about 30 seconds. Once you're done mixing with that, we'll move on to step 2. In step 2, we are going to mix together a 1/4 cup of warm water with a 1/4 cup of glue. You can use one of your stir sticks, or you can use a spoon. Get that glue out. And then we're going to mix them together. This is the time to add the food coloring, or if you have any glitter at your house, this would be the time to add the glitter. We're going to mix these up until they're totally mixed up and our water and glue kind of becomes a pastel green color, or pastel color of whatever food coloring that you're using. You want to mix it up for a good 30 seconds to a minute and make sure that water and that glue totally mix together. Those are looking pretty good and mixed. Now we're going to move on to step 3, which is adding our borax. I'm going to start with about 4 teaspoons of my borax water solution. One thing that you'll find when you make slime a couple times is that you can never add too much of the borax water solution to your slime mixture. You want to start mixing that up. Any extra borax water solution is just going to accumulate at the bottom, and you'll be able to take your slime right out of it. So you can see it's already starting to stick to my craft stick here. I do have a little bit of glue liquid at the bottom, so I'm going to add another 2 teaspoons of my borax water solution and mix this up again. I'm going to try to move some of that slime off my stick there so I can continue mixing. Okay, that's looking pretty good, much better. All right, step 4 is to knead. So we want to take our slime out of our mixing container there, take it off of our mixing stick, and we're going to knead the slime with our hands. This is going to remove any stickiness that might still be left in the slime, and we're going to want to knead it for 2 minutes to remove any of that stickiness. And then you can actually, if any of it sticks to your hands, you can pull it off. But this would be the time that you could wear those gloves if you wanted to wear those gloves. Also to reduce any food coloring dye in your hands as well. All right, now that we've kneaded it, now's the time to play. When you play with slime, you want to be sure to avoid any areas that the slime could get stuck to, like carpet or your couch. A table like this is perfect for playing with slime. Step 6 is to store that slime. That's why I use 2 plastic baggies. I want to make sure that I keep my slime nice and moist. I don't want any of the moisture to evaporate out. So I'm going to put 1 plastic baggie, shut that plastic baggie, And then I'm gonna put it inside my second plastic baggie, and that keeps it in all the moisture inside. Then I'm gonna place it in my fridge. This allows it to stop the mold from growing and your slime to last a little bit longer. Step 7 is to clean up. Anytime you make a science mess, you wanna clean up that science mess. But we're gonna hold off on cleanup for just a minute because we are gonna move over to our second slime science experiment, and that's slime with liquid starch. So let's talk about what kind of ingredients we need for that. For that one, we need 2 plastic baggies, a container for mixing, a measuring cup, some liquid starch, some glue, some warm water, sticks for stirring, food coloring, gloves are optional, keep that dye off of your hands from the food coloring, a table, and a tablecloth to clean up any mess. Now that we have all our ingredients together, let's get to making our slime. All right, step 1. We need to measure a 1/4 cup of warm water into our mixing container and 1/2 cup of glue. All right, once we've got that glue there, we can use one of our stir sticks to get the glue out. And now we're gonna add our food coloring. This is a good time if you have any glitter at your house to add the glitter. And just like with our slime with borax, we're gonna mix our slime here, or I should say our glue and water mixture with food coloring until it becomes like a pale blue color again. Just like the pale green of our slime previously. All right, that's looking good there. And now that we've got that mixed up for about 30 seconds, we're gonna add our liquid starch. So we need to add 1/2 cup of liquid starch. And we're gonna mix this for about 2 minutes. We really wanna mix this up, and you'll start to notice it's gonna stick to your stick, your craft stick or spoon, whatever you're using is fine. It's gonna start to stick to that right away. And then once it's stuck to that, you're going to wanna take it off of your craft stick and let it sit here in your container for about 2 minutes. While you're letting it sit, you can clean up any material that you have on your table, get anything out of the way so that you have time to play with your slime. Once it's sat for 2 minutes, I'm not gonna wait 2 minutes for mine, but you'll wanna wait 2 minutes for yours because it allows it to lose some of its stickiness. I'm gonna go ahead, reach my hand in there, pull out my slime, and start to knead it. We're gonna knead it for 2 minutes, just like we did with our other slime, to try to get some of that stickiness off of it. You can see it's kind of sticking to my fingers a little bit, so if this is a time that you want to put your gloves on before you do this, this would be the time to wear the gloves, especially if you don't want any of that food coloring to dye your hands at all. All right, you're going to want to knead it for about 2 minutes. Once you've done kneading it for about 2 minutes, our step 5 is to play with it. Remember, when you're playing with slime, don't play in a spot where it's going to get stuck to. You want to avoid couches and carpet and play on a table just like this. All right, step 6 is for storing. We're going to store this in those plastic baggies again. We're going to put it in our first plastic baggie, and then we're going to take that plastic baggie filled with the slime and put it in our second plastic baggie to make sure that no liquid evaporates from our slime. We also want to store it in the fridge just like with the slime with borax to prevent any mold from growing and allowing our slime to last for a long period of time. Step 7 is to clean up. If you make a science mess, you want to make sure that you clean up that science mess. Well, everyone, I'm going to get to cleaning up and playing with my slime here. The information with the video, like the materials and the steps to make the different types of slimes, are going to be included with the video today. Thank you so much for watching Science with the Metroparks, and good luck experimenting. Have a great day.